Welcome to Win the Day from Back to the Bible. I'm your coach, Pastor Nat, and today we will talk about doing the right thing. No doubt, one of the greatest twists in a movie was when Darth Vader revealed that he is Luke Skywalker's father. I mean, I can imagine the original audience yelling, "No way!" It was a great twist. But it begged the question, so now what? I mean, what will happen to Luke? What will become of his father and enemy, Darth Vader? Well, we find a twist in the story of Ruth. Ruth has just proposed to Boaz that he redeem the land and marry her. He is their kinsman redeemer. But Boaz tells her that he would, but there is another redeemer who has the first right. He sends Ruth away, promising to talk to this unnamed person. And that's where we pick it up in Ruth Chapter 4, beginning in verse 1. Now Boaz had gone up to the gate and sat down there. And behold, the Redeemer, of whom Boaz had spoken, came by. So Boaz said, "Turn aside, friend, sit down here." And he turned aside and sat down. And he took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, "Sit down here." So they sat down. Then he said to the Redeemer, "Naomi, who has come back from the country of Moab, is selling the parcel of land that belonged to our relative Elimelech. So I thought I would tell you of it and say, buy it in the presence of those sitting here and in the presence of elders of my people. If you will redeem it, redeem it. But if you will not, tell me that I may know, for there is no one besides you to redeem it, and I come after you." And he said, "I will redeem it." Then Boaz said, "The day you buy the field from the hand of Naomi, you also acquire Ruth the Moabite, the widow of the dead, in order to perpetuate the name of the dead in his inheritance." So we pick up the story with Boaz at the city gate. This is where the legal proceedings would occur. The elders at the city gate would meet and administer their court cases there. So he waits for the Redeemer, and he shows up. But notice, his name is not given. The author writes, "of whom Boaz had spoken." Some translators translate it as Mr. So-and-so. In other words, he's just not the main character. So no, this is the guy Boaz was talking about. And then in verse 3, Boaz begins to inform Mr. So-and-so about Elimelech's land. He makes sure that the elders hear the situation. The land is here. It is yours if you want to buy it. If not, I will be happy to do so. Well, Mr. So-and-so jumps and affirms the desire to purchase the land. There is that moment. There's the twist. Oh no! I didn't think that this would happen. Well, maybe this Redeemer doesn't fully understand the package deal. So Boaz provides the details in verse 5. He says, "Okay, so if you buy the land, you know Naomi, the widow, she comes with you. Oh, and by the way, Mr. So-and-so, you know that part of the obligation is to carry on the lineage of Elimelech. Well, we know that Naomi, she is well beyond childbearing years. So this means that he must also marry Ruth. So will Mr. So-and-so change his mind? As of right now, it's not looking so good for Boaz and Ruth. I just didn't see this coming. Did you? Well, knowing all this, I have a challenge for you today. I want you to do the right thing regardless of the situation. You see, Boaz could have skipped this whole legal proceeding. This Redeemer was first in line, but overlooked. So Boaz knew the risk of losing the land and Ruth, and yet he does the right thing. And it appears to be going sideways now. Today, you will have simple and complex opportunities to do the right thing when it could be easy to compromise. Don't do it. We've seen in 3 chapters of Ruth that God is in control. Who knows how it will turn out? But our duty is to be faithful regardless of the situation.